Greetings, dear beloveds. This is White Wolf. I'm going to start off by enacting protocols. Hope on the light, fire dragon, earth, water dragon, earth, fire dragon, Queen's pink dragon, golden north dragon, Ezekiel, my two black dragons, the black dragon, Saturn, and alpha dragon, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Sandalphon, Raphael, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, the Intergalactic Council, the Galactic Federation of Light, and grandfather, grandmother. And the tribal women are also in attendance. And so it is. I wanted to talk about something because on the spiritual journey, we get impatient, we lose our balance, we lose our focus, we lose our drive. And what it really means is that we give into the false self, we give into the self that is negative, we give into our human self instead of our higher self. And what it really means, we swing the pendulum around, we pull cards, we think we're doing the right thing, and then sometimes we get our hopes up, and then we feel like we failed at that manifestation, or we feel like we failed at shifting into a new timeline, into a new reality. When really a timeline is a series of events or a manifestation that is supposed to happen at a specific time, at a specific interval, at a specific day, a specific week, a year, a month, even. So when we're trying to shift a timeline into a manifestation to try to manifest a new reality, a parallel reality, maybe even an alternate reality, because we're playing with it, because we put obstacles in our way, which is our self-esteem, which is our lack of confidence, our lack of drive, our lack of anticipation. And when we really need to think of like the turtle, because the turtle's very patient, slow and steady wins the race. And just because you did not achieve that specific timeline with that specific manifestation, that does not mean that you are not creating the alternate reality or the parallel reality of your choosing. So I would like to share out to all the groups, and please, this is White Wolf. Make an appointment with me in Morningstar. I will hear myself again. So what I wanted to talk about is sometimes we get really, really frustrated. We feel like we did everything Spirit asked. We feel like we've did our work. We did our inner work. We did what we needed to do in order to shift into that timeline. But then what? There's that pregnant pause, like Morningstar says, that pregnant pause. The pregnant pause makes you wait. The pregnant pause makes you patient. The pregnant pause makes you or it breaks you. So on the spiritual journey, you will be made and you will be broken. But it will be those times of change. It will be those times holding on to the vision that will present such a change in you, that will present such a growth in you. Your growth is the most important part of you shifting into a new timeline, into a new reality, into manifesting whatever you desire, whatever it is. It could be ice cream, it could be a house, it could be a car. Let's just break it down. Let's really simplify it and let's talk about shifting timelines into a new reality. This is the topic of discussion for the day, and this is a live feed, so please share out as I'm sharing out. I'm just going to look at my phone real quick. I'm going to share out to all of the groups, and I want you guys to know that there are a council of guides. There are a council of people who are very, very powerful that are with me right now. And it does not matter what's going on in the 3D. And most of the time, we let circumstances dictate the whole paradigm of our shifting into a new timeline. We think the 3D has control over that. We always think that it's God's will, and I have thought this myself in my spiritual journey. And Morningstar, I remember she was sitting in the car and she said that God, let it be your will, and then they tell her, let it be your will. And I'm like, I never thought of that. And some of my best moments is just sitting in the car with her and getting downloads. But let it be your will. Let it be your divine free will. Let it be in divine timing. Don't trip yourself up because the obstacles, the struggle, the trials and the tribulation, the challenge within your spiritual journey does define who you are, the growth in your spiritual journey. Because trust me, I'm not done growing yet, but I've grown so much in 2 years, but I'm not letting it get ahead of me because they told me that I was going to have something big happen and it hasn't happened yet. And what did I do? I gave in and I was like, why hasn't it happened yet? Why haven't I got this yet? Why haven't this happened yet? Why am I a crappy manifester? Am I not shifting into the timeline that I really, 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 really desire? And nobody talks about this when they're talking about manifestation. Nobody talks about this when they're talking about parallel realities. Nobody talks about this when they're talking about alternate realities. Nobody really talks about using your imagination to the best of your capabilities. Shifting timelines is you manifesting the reality that you want because you are trying to level yourself up. So go on a trip. You know, when spirit tells you to do something, go do it. When this pendulum is swinging in your direction and it doesn't happen just yet, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means it hasn't happened yet. And just because something doesn't go your way does not mean that you failed. It actually means that you're working towards shifting into the reality that you want. You are shifting timelines when you take a trip and you do everything Spirit told you to do and it doesn't work out. That doesn't mean just because you went home you didn't go big. Because actually, just staying home and doing your everyday activities and just, oh, woe is me. Why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? Why am I not getting clients? Why am I not buying that house that I want to buy? Well, guess what? You got to go big and you got to go home, but you have to be patient because timelines are series of events that are happening within your spiritual journey. They are happening in a cycle. And as they are happening in that said cycle, it might be when you're 25. It might be when you're 30 when you win the lottery. It might be you're 40 until you get that GMC Sierra. Don't beat yourself up. This is not a race on the spiritual journey. And a lot of times when people are fast tracked on the spiritual journey, it really kills their pride. And trust me, I'm being fast tracked on the spiritual journey. There's a lot of other people like me that are being fast tracked on the spiritual journey. They are being fast tracked because you are the chosen. You are having a challenging journey. You are having a journey for a reason. And the periods of growth where you're holding on to the vision, and I had Morningstar tell me this, holding on to the vision and seeing it and not letting it be just based on what the outcome was because the vision is still there. You might be in the rocket. You might be sitting in that rocket and you're being catapulted into enlightenment. And as you're being catapulted, as you're being shot out of this rocket, you are enjoying the ride. You are enjoying the movie. You are enjoying being the main character of this said movie. But the fact of the matter is that you get to dictate the screenplay. You get to dictate what happens in this movie. You get to dictate who produces the movie. You get to dictate what clothes you're wearing, who you're talking to, whatever it is in this said timeline. And you should be happy where you're at right now because you are in a timeline right now and you are just working for the next timeline. Because this is the only way to manifest, this is the only way to create the reality of your choosing. Creating the reality of your choosing means that you're shifting timelines. You're not only shifting timelines, but you're shifting dimensions. You're shifting realities. You are not only in this 3D doing what I'm doing right now, but you are in another place doing what I'm doing right now. You might be doing something a tad different. It doesn't matter how you're doing it, but the way that you're doing it is really cool. Okay? The only way to shift a timeline is to really want the timeline to shift.
And it's to pay attention. Okay, come on.
Yeah, come on.
And it's to pay attention to all of the taps on the shoulder and to move and to go and to do things when they say go and do it. It could be a phone call, it could be something as easy as doing emails. And in this process, it's like if we take our focus off of the goal of the insight and we take our focus off and into the 3D, yeah, we're going to get sidetracked because we get frustrated because we're wanting the 3D to reflect back to us quickly, fastly, and to what's the word? And to
Accelerate.
accelerate and confirm what's happening. But the 3D, until it's set in stone, until it's like the gold refined in fire, then it happens. And then what happens during that process? It's like your things that come up out of you, and you're like, you've cleared the decks, you're clearing, you're clearing, you're clearing, clearing, and you're thinking, today it's fine, right? Well, next week Sorry, we are getting eaten up by bugs. But next week is like something else. I'm sorry, what do I take over? I'm sorry, I'm having a
Okay.
brain fart.
No, it's fine. What happens when you do your inner work, when you feel like you do everything that you need to do? Well, I'm here to tell you that you are not done growing because you don't have a ceiling on yourself. As a spiritual being of love and light, you are an infinite creation of Source. That means you are infinite. That means you are not done. That means you still have series of things to go through. You have lessons and you have catalyst to go through so that you can be the master or the alchemist within. And as you are being the master or the alchemist within, as you obtain that spiritual mass, as you obtain the level of light that is needed in order to direct others to see that singular light that illuminates the universe within them, the only way to do that is to really clear yourself out, is to really elevate yourself, is to really to expand to new heights. And the only way to do that, because they have a calling on your life, it's a calling. It has you driven to help people shift their timeline into another reality. That's the only way. We always talk about manifesting reality. We always talk about creating something. We always talk about manifesting something, but we never ever talked about shifting a timeline. Only very few. Do you have something to add? Do you have something to add?
Not the second.
Not this second? Okay. But no, what I really wanted to stress to you guys is that you need to be patient on the spiritual path because your journey is a path. And there might be doors that you have to go through. And there might be dark places that you have to go within yourself. There might be relationships to be had. There might be friends to be had. There might be stages in your life where it is just changing organically. And it's just that said time for that change.
Right. And the 3D is the training ground. The 3D is the training process. That's what we signed up to do. The 3D triggers us and it is our training ground. It's like boot camp. The 3D is like boot camp, if you want to use that terminology, to train you up into being single-eyed focused, into catching the eye of the eagle.
And it's a growing up process and it hurts and it's uncomfortable at first, but once you get past it, once you really give in, once you really let go, and letting go is you shifting into another reality that you're letting go of. And that's what we need to really understand. We're letting go of the realities of the timelines that we don't desire, that we don't like. And thank you, Morningstar, for your addition. I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's beautiful. You don't know what's going to happen. That's the beautiful thing about shifting into a new reality, is that you don't know what's going to happen. The unknown is unpredictable and it's scary as fuck. And when it's scary as fuck, when it's got you on your toes, that's the journey.
It's the shaking and the
It's the
trembling,
shaking and the trembling and the growth and the change
questioning.
and the questioning of your own self. You will question yourselves. There are thousands upon thousands of assumptions day in, day out. You will always make assumptions. You will always question yourself. But once we get to the point where we don't question ourselves, when we get to the point where we know who we are, we know what we need to do, we know the change that we desire, we know what we want to shift into, and then that's how we help be service to others oriented instead of service to self, because that's how it really starts, is service to self, so that one day you can be of service to others, so that you can help them manifest the timeline within the reality that they desire, that they want, that they crave, that they dream at night, that they see it, they believe it. It's the vision that you're holding on to so dearly, so emphatically, because it is ever changing. Consciousness is ever changing.
It's almost like the Minority Report.
The Minority
When he's
Report.
standing there in front of the screen, it's like, try this one. Nope, slide it away. Try this one. Nope, slide that one away. Pull it in. Is it this one? Nope, slide it away. And that's the
Because there's
3D
so many
process.
templates to use from. There's so many different templates. There's so many different realities. There's so many parallel realities. There's so many alternate realities that you can play with. But it's got to be fun. You got to have fun with it. You can't just be bummed out because something didn't go your way, because when it doesn't go your way, that means that it wasn't for you. And I say this multiple times, it's not about the outcome, it's about the journey, it's about the triumph, it's about the gas that you're cooking with. It's about you changing, manifesting, growing, analyzing everything that is in your timeline that you don't like, that you don't really care for, that you don't prefer. And when you're not living by your preferences, you're in the revolving door. You're in a loop of sort. You're in a time loop of unconscious decisions.
So if you have to go to bed and cover your head, it's okay.
Yeah.
The sun comes up in the morning and it's a new day. I
So
had to move. The bugs are biting fiercely.
yeah. The bugs are biting, but they're here for me. They're showing me that it doesn't matter while I'm doing this live feed and I'm getting ate up by bugs, that I need to do what I need to do. It doesn't matter that the sun's going down and the bugs are out and they're half killing me, because this is what I needed to do. This is what I was driven to do. I mean, hell, Morningstar was like, just go live and see what happens. And now it's just happening and it's unfolding in front of all of you, so that we can impart something on you so that you can use it on your day-to-day practices. And it doesn't mean that it looks like what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. It could be on your day to day practices. It could be you going to your crystal store. It could be you just hanging out on your couch. Everything is a guided meditation. You are meditating when you are just doing nothing. But I'm not telling you not to meditate, but it's all a choice. It's all a choice to stay in a specific timeline. It's all a choice to have the same reality over and over and over again. It's a choice to want to be better, to be different, to grow, to expand, to stay in the stretching zone and not in the panic zone and not in the comfort zone, because those two stages don't help us grow. They keep us very stagnant. They keep us very stale. But what you want to do is stay in the stretching zone, because the stretching zone is expansion. It's elevation, which is the pregnant pause. What Morningstar just said. The pregnant pause will help you be patient. It will help you keep you very, very hungry. It will keep you very, very driven on the spiritual path, because the only way to stay driven is to have the journey, is to really put yourself out there and do everything that spirit tells you to do, and get pulled in so many different directions that it makes your head spin. That's the beauty in this illusion, and seeing through the illusion and being able to shift our frequency, to be able to shift our timelines, to be able to shift into a new reality, and to be able to shift into a new level of consciousness.
That's when you look for the signs, because the synchronistic signs will show
That's
up.
why you look for signs and confirmations. That's why you look for synchronicities. That's why you see what is being placed on your path so you can stay driven. Maybe you win 15 bucks on a lottery card. Maybe you'll win $2 million the next time you draw. It's just the luck of the draw. It's just the right time to pull the trigger. It's just the right time to do this, to do that. It's the right time to call that person. It's the right time to manifest, and the right time is now. But now doesn't always mean that it's right here. It might be in a couple months, it might be in 2 years, but you have to have a future in order to not stay in the past. And the only way to do that is live in the now, to live in the ever present moment.
The single light focus.
The single light focus, the single pointedness about your soul, about what keeps your heart full, what keeps you whole. And the only way to do that is have very humble beginnings. And I think one of the hardest things I've ever had on my spiritual journey was to have humble beginnings. And I probably should rewatch my first live feed, because that will let you know that you had humble beginnings. But it's always a humble beginning, because you're starting over and over and over again. You're resurrecting and killing the old self, the imposter self, so that the higher self can take control and be in the driver's seat and have his hand on the clutch and have his foot completely on the gas. so he can be steady, so he can keep going, so he can see the signs, so he can see the confirmations, so he can see what is being placed on his or her path, so that they know that they are supported, that they are safe, that their days are truly in the sun, so that we're breaking through barriers. We have to break through barriers. And it's just layers. We're laying a foundation within ourselves. We're laying the foundation for what our reality needs to be like, what our timeline needs to look like. And just because you're doing the heavy duty work right at this very specific moment and it doesn't go your way, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen.
That your castle is not being built, and that you've got the keys to the castle. You've
Yes.
got them. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. It is done. Your days are in the sun, and it is done. You have the keys to the castle. They have been bestowed to you. You have the cloak of power. You have the sword of truth. You're in search of the truth because you're the intense spiritual seeker in his or her commitment to his or her's truth. Your words of wisdom are going to guide people to enlightenment. You are going to guide people by the hand into enlightenment so they can feel abundance, so they know what abundance is. Because we are overflowing abundance. You never know when someone stops you on the street and you give them a smile that could change the whole paradigm of your life. We don't change conventional reality. I've been talking about this a lot. We don't change conventional reality. We just change our inner reality so that we can become the infinite reality, so that we can shift any timeline that we choose to our own pleasing because it's our will, so that we can manifest the reality, the parallel reality that we so desire. But see, that pause, it's beautiful. Silence is beautiful. Grace is only obtained when you have humility. And when you are devoted to the path to the fullest of your capabilities, that shows true courage. But don't give your power to too much of a concept, because then you're giving your power away to a single concept when you are the concept of the whole concept. You are the concept of why everything is created. You are the concept of which nothing is described, nothing is attainable, nothing is graspable. But that's the beauty in it, because we never stop leveling up. We're like in a video game. We're like this avatar in a video game, and we've already beaten the game 3 or 4 times, but then there's extra hard. Then there's extra, extra, extra hard. And then there's extra, 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 extra hard. So we're just the avatar to this video game, and we reached a level 132, and we're so masterful, we're so powerful. We got these weapons. We got the shield. We got the shield of truth, whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't matter. We want to be 232. We want to be 1,000. We want to be a level 1,000. Because that's the only way that you shift your frequency. That's the only way you shift the timeline. That's the only way that you shift into becoming the man or the woman that you're supposed to be. And you're going to need people along the way. I'm sorry, I need MorningStar. I do need her. You're going to need people on the path. People are going to help you grow on the path. That's just the way it is. And sometimes your ego won't let you accept that, but sometimes you just need to accept that. Sometimes you need to accept that maybe I need to do this just a tad better. Maybe I need to do this a tad better. Maybe I do need to become more humble. Maybe I am sometimes too into myself. But it's like that with all of us. We're killing the darkness completely away out of our own soul. I'm sorry, I'm getting ate up. We're killing away the darkness within our own soul, and we're emptying ourselves out so that we can be the container of all things, so that we can be all that there is, so that we can be the universe. We're just improving our inner universe. That's all we're doing. We're just being guided on what we think we should do. And sometimes the hardest thing on our spiritual journey is to truly do the right thing. And what is the right thing? What is the right path? It is your path because it is about trusting. It's truly about trusting. It's about having faith. It's about having will and having the patience to have that will and to have that patience and to have that guidance and to be guided by resonance and to be guided by your heart and to be guided by love so that you can become transcendent, so that you can become the embodiment of what love is. It's time for healing. I hope you all enjoyed this message. I hope it really blessed you tonight. But we're going to get into some healing. This is White Wolf. Share out to all the groups. Make an appointment with me and Morningstar. And I'm going to try to do my best because I am being ate up by these bugs. And it's not great. But they're here to help me. Ate baya haya oshe emma oya ote gemma gaya ote dema daya oshe bema aya ote gemma boya ope emma haya. Huti pama haya ate kema koya apa pema aya ahahawa haya ate hiya haya ape hiya haya. Hema haya haya ote kema koya apa pema haya. There are angels in this tree that are coming down. They keep coming off this limb and coming down to the ground and going back up. So there's healing being released right now. I hope you can all hear me. Oto ishana tekana shote ama shato no ichikana yato. Beautiful, beautiful pink rose quartz hearts being sent out. Ota shate with rainbows. Ora te no shate diama ashate no shikana ata auto do eshiata. Don't judge the journey. Don't judge the journey. Don't judge the journey. Don't judge the journey. Don't judge it. Let it go. Let it breathe. Be focused. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Doshikane ta no chikane ta mo shatana doshikane ta ishane doshikana ta ayata ayata ayata. The children of the light are always set free from bondages. Always, 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 always set free. Oto ishana ata eto no ata ata ashate te amba eta. Cell doors are opened and they are unlocked. So walk out into freedom and into the full light of day. Osha anna ato shikana etaua tahasho taya. Osha deamo osha anna anna tichikana ata. Who a powerful being in all blue just came down, man. Oto Osha is a galactic council. Oto Oshikana that there's diamonds being released from his hands right now. Osha hanote shikate anna esha to ticho te anna. Isha na ata to ko ticha te ama ata a. Isha de a balancing of parts. Oto Oshikana ata ata osha ote anata a ato ichikana u. And so it is. So there you go. Atayo shota ato chata ato shata atao ora to shoti ato yeshu shota te ato shota te ato chiata ato shoti amaya to sho sora te ato shata te ato shata ato chata ana ayato iana ana ono shi ano te apa shata te apa
Oshateana atate shateama aishato chikateama Ishonaya do shote diaba Aishate abo shate diaba Ayana Ura diaba Aishate dianaba the children of the light always come into the full light of day. Oh, ina aisha, no, ichiato, na ata, sha, nothing, nothing can separate you from the full light of the glory that is here and that is coming. Oto shika na ete ano shika ano ete. Keep your eyes on us. Keep your eyes focused on us. Oto ushe ana ata e chika na ata. The tribal women have come forward. They are giving gifts out right now in their hands. Oto ishi shishane eta ono usho te ana. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oto sho. Oh my god. Oh my god. Otoishotoya. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Otosha. Otoshikate moya. 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 I'm seeing a diamond that's before me and it is spinning so fast. It's a huge diamond. Huge diamond spinning so fast. Otoshikate na. Any little spots, any little chinks in the armor are being spun off. We don't see the chinks of armor in our on our back. They do. They do, and they know how to set us free. And we get set free by walking our path and by going when you get that taps on the shoulder to continue the process, continue the journey. Doesn't matter what the 3D looks like, continue the journey. Then the synchronicities. What you don't realize is, well, what Wolf was talking a while ago, are my favorite bluebird that I rarely see just lit on a limb behind us. There's another synchronistic sign. I was like, oh my God. So we look for those signs all the fucking time. That's what feeds us. That's what feeds our energy, is looking for the signs. It might be the yellow butterfly that just crossed right at the perfect time. It's beautiful. That is the simplistic things, that God source energy and the galactic cancel. That's what they use, and it's like that one scene from Doctor Strange when he's been hit on the head and he's out flying in space and it's all tumult, right? And then all of a sudden a butterfly goes by, and what happens? He stops, he focuses on the butterfly, and it goes by, and then there he goes again. Nothing is different. That's what we do. That's our experience in the 3D. That's what is happening.
There's a reason why the bugs are here. They are here for this healing. They are here for me to do exactly what I'm doing right now. They're here exactly to do what I'm doing here right now.
Here comes a wave of refreshing right now. At that wave of refreshing right now. Oh, I saw a female on a beach by herself in the full moon, and she dove into the water. Oh, she's swimming. She's swimming. She's swimming out to an island. Oh, there are other light beings on the island. She sees them. She recognizes them. They're so happy that she's arrived. That's much rejoicing. So if you're feeling very alone on this journey right now, please know that your galactic council, the Federation of Light, your everyone on the other side is cheering you on. Well, you're known there. You are known there and you are loved there. It's a time of rest. To sit on the beach out on that island and let the water wash over your toes, your fingers, playing in the sand. It's a time of refreshing. Oh no, ate edna ata atu shoko te ata te amo shate. Kote ama, shoto yata, shote anama. Just small clouds going by, blocking out the moon momentarily, but it doesn't last. Oto osha ano ate te chikana eta. Fish are jumping. Ora dolphin. Ote ena asha shata ena ana ata a. Oto te yata. Shote ama. Shote ama yato ikana. Ho. Ho. Soda de ama shata. Ote do shikata.
But, dear beloveds, I appreciate the time that we spent here together today in the collaboration of the healing of planet Earth. And when I snap my fingers, you will shift your frequency. You will shift into a new timeline, into a new dimension, into a new reality, so that you can become a manifest powerhouse. So you can manifest yourself into oneness. And it all starts from oneness, dear beloveds. It all comes from love. It all comes from coming from your heart. It all comes from knowing that you are the divine spark that drives the universe. And that when I snap my fingers, you will shift into alignment. You will just keep shifting. You will become a magical, divine ray of healing towards hearts, towards others. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And then take one more deep breath until we come back into alignment. That was powerful, ladies and gents. That was really powerful. And even when the bugs are eating you alive, like they are me right now, you can still do what you need to do. I probably should have brought bug spray, but it doesn't matter. So please share out to all the groups. This is White Wolf. Please feel free to donate and like us on TikTok and follow us on Bitchute. It's MorningStar at I Am Movement or I Am Movement at MorningStar. I believe that's what it is. I could be wrong. But I am going to escape the bugs. But I hope you all enjoyed the presentation tonight. I hope you enjoyed the message. I hope you enjoyed the healing, the prophetic words from not only Morningstar, and I hope that we just touch your guys' hearts and minds, and that we help motivate you guys. And sometimes the spiritual journey is just really, really hard. It's really, really triumphant. It's really, really it tested your patience at time, but patience is the gateway to becoming a champion. So, without further ado, share out to all the groups. Feel free to donate. This is White Wolf. I'm going to escape the insects. But thank you all.